you? Nice to meet you. So nice of you to join me and have this interview with me.
Oh, great being here. I'm happy to have this conversation. Always nice to connect with our international partners and everyone working with them. So looking forward to it.
Yay, awesome. So I'm going to be asking you a few questions because I think so many people would have probably very similar questions that I'm going to be asking you, wondering about the brand, wondering a little bit about your background and things like that. So I kind of just wanted to understand a little bit of Spa Ceylon, like how it all started.
Well, Spa Ceylon started just over 10 years ago, actually. Mm-hmm. So the co-founders of Spa Ceylon is myself and my brother. So we were working, which we still do. We run my mother's cosmetic company, which she started 50 plus years ago. And it's a mass market cosmetic company. And we were looking at a brand that had the legs to go international at that point. Mm-hmm. So looking around, we saw this, the world focusing towards green product, looking at all sciences. And then we looked back into Sri Lanka and saw this amazing science of Ayurveda we have and such a rich heritage in Ayurveda. Mm-hmm. If presented well, we realized that it had a lot of potential because Ayurveda is an amazing science, but it's generally a little grungy, it's smelly, it doesn't feel good when you put it on. And so on. Although it's amazing, it didn't have those little trimmings that a modern product needed to have. So what we decided was we went back, got the Ayurveda doctors and the cosmetologists together that we could really create a product that was amazing for people to use and also had that fun, sexy, luxurious element to it as well.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And I love that you're talking about Ayurveda, and I think that's quite new. Like people don't usually associate that with luxury bath and body products. So tell me about Ayurveda and why Ayurveda.
See, Ayurveda is a science of life. Why Ayurveda initially was because Sri Lanka has a rich heritage in Ayurveda. If you go back in history where they're just discovering all this stuff as well, the first structured hospital in the world has been in Sri Lanka. So they found the ruins of that. So that was an Ayurveda hospital. So we've got a very rich science of Ayurveda, and the key of Ayurveda is Ayurveda is a science of life, really. So it's a science of life that believes in balance. So if you're in balance internally and you're in balance with your outside world, that takes you to your perfect point. And as you go towards your perfect point, your skin is better, your hair is better, your health is better, and you're at a perfect state. So Ayurveda is a pursuit to get to that perfect state. And it's a science of healing rather than, externally treating something. You cause rather than effect. So in that sense, we realized that there was something so powerful about Ayurveda that the world would really cling on to. And as we go to 20 plus countries, we are seeing that.
I understand that, you guys have Ayurvedic formula in all of your, products. And so tell me a little bit about that.
See, how it works is the root of every product we make is Ayurveda. Mm-hmm. So the Ayurveda doctors create the formula that would help, say, hair loss or acne or dark patches or uneven skin tone or so on. Then we get our cosmetologists coming in as well, who look at how to preserve the Ayurveda science and the effectiveness, but deliver it in a way that is modern and conducive to a modern consumer, so that it comes in cream forms, it comes where we add essential oils so it smells better, it feels better on the skin. So essentially the core of it, the healing essence of it is all Ayurveda. But what the cosmetologists come in and do is work on the delivery. And then of course on top of that, we've got our teams working on the packaging to make it attractive. And we believe that Spa Ceylon needs to be a multi-sensory brand. So even if you walk into a Spa Ceylon store, we're going to hit you with all your...
You do.
From fragrance to the music, to the vibrant colors, to our teas and infusions, to the touch and feel of the creams, all that. So it's creating that whole holistic delivery system is what makes Spa Ceylon what it is. But at the core of it all is this amazing healing science of Ayurveda.
Yeah. Awesome. That sounds amazing. And you explained it so well. Thank you. Like when I looked into your brand and, obviously the Ayurveda, the formula aspect and the essential oils was so attractive. But what I really like about you guys as a brand as well is that you sort of support like the sustainable harvesting community. So I would like to know a little bit more about that.
See, with sustainable harvesting, Spa Ceylon doesn't grow any of our own ingredients. We as a brand or a company believe that we should be doing only what we're best at. So what we do is bring in rural farmers, even villages, give them the knowledge and infrastructure to grow, and even with more organized suppliers who supply us, we insist that the way they grow, the way they harvest, the way they handle waste, the way they handle fertilizer and other ingredients has to be sustainable.
Yeah.
So it's about setting up the building blocks for them that allow them to create these sustainable harvesting projects that then in turn come and supply us. So the short answer is, even though we don't do it, we allow or we give them the infrastructure to be able to do it.
The opportunities as well. Obviously, so many people being part of it. It's amazing.
Just a quick example of something very interesting we did is about 8 years ago, the Reef Conservation Authority in Sri Lanka came to us and said that during the off season, the fishing families would go off and start blasting coral as an alternate way of income, which was eroding the seabed. Whether we could do anything with them, with seaweed or something. But we realized rather than seaweed, aloe vera would be a good crop for us to use. So we worked with a few other groups and taught them how to grow aloe vera in their backyards. So because even on sandy ground, you can grow aloe vera, and it's fairly simple as long as you're irrigating it properly, right? So what we got them to do is the families got together and started growing aloe vera in their backyards. Now, even today, we buy over 2 tons of aloe vera a month from those families.
Oh, that's amazing.
At an agreed price. So they've got income. They're no longer breaking down the coral reefs. It's brought the families together. It's empowered women. So little projects like that really end up creating a bigger impact than just the harvesting itself.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. It makes me really proud to be part of a brand that does all of this and really thinks about community and, not just like the sales aspect of it, but just kind of like giving back as well, which I think is absolutely amazing. I know you were earlier talking about like the packaging and stuff, which is definitely one thing that attracted me, initially as well when looking at the colors and stuff. So tell me about the colors and why certain colors for certain products, like let's say the Sleep Intense has like the purple, or the De-Stress has like the blue, or the the greens and stuff. Like what's your thoughts behind it?
See, overall the packaging vibrancy comes from traditional Ceylonese art. Our art is quite vibrant, given that the island is quite vibrant and quite tropical. It's comes from the flora and fauna of the country, which are bright, and our sunsets and all those little elements that make the island such a beautiful tropical paradise, right? How each color is assigned to each type of packaging, it can be based on various reasons. In most cases, it has to do with the ingredient going into it. If you look at a cinnamon product, you get browns, oranges into it. And if you look at the flowers in it as well, it'll have little elements of cinnamon brought in to create the flower, for instance. If you look at De-Stress, for instance, the reason that's blue is research has shown that blue is a relaxing color. It brings down your heart rate, it relaxes you, it calms you, which again ties in very, very well to what the De-Stress range is. Why the Sleep is purple is Sleep has lavender in it, so it pushes the ingredient out there. So it's either ingredient or the use, but again, the vibrancy comes from the country itself. Yeah,
no, and it's nice. It's like rich, beautiful colors as well. And I think they're like stunning in the sense of like gifting it to people or having it in your bathroom. It just looks so pretty. So I think you guys ace it with the colors. Like I love the colors. They're so rich. It's not like basic, but it's like really rich. So it's nice that you guys put so much thought into the packaging, which obviously ties in with the whole luxury.
The other thing is it really sets us apart. Every time if you go to one of our European stores, you get all the European brands next to it, and then Spa Ceylon pops up.
Yeah.
Explosion of color.
So colorful, yeah.
It's white and gray and stuff like that. So it helps set us apart as well, and it helps us tell the original story of the brand, because a big part of what Spa Ceylon is telling that story, and it's an authentic story. It's not just a made-up branding angle to it. So the art actually comes from the island, the science actually comes from the island, the ingredients actually come from the island, and it's an ever-evolving story where we're continuously bringing different forms of art and culture into the brand.
Absolutely fantastic. I think it's so nice, and it's so nice that you're so passionate. Like when you're explaining it, I can see the love for the brand, which is it's beautiful. It's really beautiful to see. Tell me about the process of making a new product, another like new Ayurvedic product.
Okay, so one of the biggest parts of this business or this industry is to keep evolving and changing, because people's preferences are changing, ingredients are changing, our environment is changing, and so on. So you need to keep changing to fit into that. So a lot of our time is spent on R&D. So our R&D is broken up into two sections really. So one section is looking at ancient Ayurveda scripts, ingredients, and so on. So that's all they do, looking at ancient Ayurveda scripts. And we've got tons of scripts in Sri Lanka. So they're looking at it, they're translating it, they're going through it, and they're looking for, okay, what here has a modern fit? So then if they find something, then they bring it out, and then we start strategizing as to how can this now be the solution to a modern consumer problem or issue or need.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So then the other side is we've got the cosmetologists and the chemists. They're looking at new ingredients, new ways to reduce any sort of preservative going in, new ingredients that are recommended by the industry, and so on. So those two ways. On top of that, we've got guys on the learning side where we're looking at the industry and saying, okay, what's new in the industry, what's changing. Very often in our industry, ingredients keep changing. What's acceptable and what's not acceptable keep changing over time. So we need to stay on board with that. Then we have to see what ingredients are trending globally as well. If you remember, maybe about 3-4 years ago, coconut suddenly exploded all over the world. I mean, we in Asia have been using coconut for ages, but suddenly it went nuts. So like that, we see now turmeric is becoming huge. And when we saw that, we went out and started on a turmeric range. So keeping our ears out there to get that kind of information. Then the other side of learning comes from our consumers themselves. What do they want? What new issues do they have now that we can cater to? What are their needs? How can we make their lives better? How can we make their lives better? Now, COVID's brought a whole new group of needs, and now we're looking at how can we cater to that. So it's all those things coming together that bring up product development. So it could come from any side really, but ultimately it's about creating something that or a product that makes a difference in the lives of a consumer, and whether we can do it in a meaningful way. So that's it.
Wow. And it's that constant research as well, isn't it? It's like constantly making sure you guys are just like, up to date with a lot of things. And like you said, like the needs of people, that changes and evolves throughout the years as well, especially during the pandemic now. So that's fantastic. Yeah.
Also, the big thing now is you're working with a far more educated client or a customer, right? Everyone's got their smartphones, their computers. They're doing their research. So if you're not even up to their mark, you're going to be in trouble. So you need to be ahead of the game in that sense, in knowing what's good and what's coming. Also, there's a lot of sharing. There used to be a time where something gets popular in Europe, especially with cosmetics, and then it hits the rest of the world, or the US, and then it hits the rest of the world. Now you launch something anywhere, the whole world knows about it. The whole world has access to it. So as a brand in several countries, you have to be there, ready to cater to the modern trends of the world, really.
Yeah, no. And talking about products and ingredients and things like that, like I know a few times I've had this question, whether you guys are organic or not, and I know that you guys aren't. And what is the reason for not being organic?
See, most of the ingredients we use are organic. We technically we could get organic certified. We there are a lot of our products that are organic, but that we are not organic certified. It's because in Ayurveda the number of ingredients that go into a product are huge.
Okay.
And for proper organic certification, you need to go back to every single ingredient and organic certify every single ingredient.
Right.
So you do community trade projects when you're doing wild harvesting, when you're adding so many ingredients, and if you have to go back
it's impossible. So many.
By every ingredient, then your product cost is just going to go through the roof.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's also not feasible when you're doing community trade and so on, because you're working with you're helping organize these cultivations and so on. So getting certification for that is just won't be feasible. It just won't work.
Yeah.
So it's a decision we made that we will make products with organic ingredients, but we don't necessarily need to organic certified. Going into the future, if we want to maybe go and organic certify a certain group of ingredients, a certain group of products, which are going to be obviously higher priced and more higher end, we might do that. But right now, it's not organic certified, but organic ingredients.
Yeah, and it's good to know, because I think sometimes people don't understand, like when something is not certified as organic, they immediately think it's got chemicals and it's got all these, toxic sort of ingredients in there. So it's nice to understand why sometimes some products are not organic. So this makes sense, and I think this would be very educational for a lot of people who probably have that question about your brand anyway, because I know it is 100% vegetarian. It has all the organic essential oils and stuff, but then it's that word organic, isn't it? Like whenever people look at something, it's just understanding what it actually means.
Yeah. Simpler products with lesser number of ingredients are easier to certify.
Of course, yeah.
So that is, I think, where the confusion occurs. Also, proper organic certification and labels that say organic, there's a difference there as well.
Okay. I know you guys have 100 stores worldwide in, nearly 20 countries, 19 countries to be exact, isn't it?
We are now at 103 in 23 countries.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's amazing. And like, what has been your experience with that? Like, what are your feelings? Like, this is like a massive achievement. It's amazing.
Well, thank you. I mean, that was always the plan. As far as we're concerned, it hasn't been fast enough. We expected to be a little more. This year slowed us down tremendously, unfortunately, although we managed to open about 3 or 4 stores. We are just on the brink of opening in London when the second lockdown happened. It was just getting there when this happened. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we open before Christmas if things settle down.
Yeah.
But that was always the plan for the brand, that we wanted to be a big global brand. We wanted to go out there and really get a big footprint out for Spa Ceylon. And the thing is, the brand has resonated with people.
I was going to ask what your feedback has been with all these, stores and in all these countries.
Exactly. So the brand is resonating with people. Products are working for people, which is the most important thing. They understand the authenticity of the brand and everything around it. And it's very different to other brands out there. So all that is working and working well. So we're looking forward to 100 more.
Well, I hope that works out. Well done. What are the top 3 range of products in these stores? Like, I'm sure there must be a common 3 everywhere.
So if you look at the one highest selling product across the thing, we've got a white sandal eye serum. Strangely, that is the one highest selling product across the world.
Interesting.
That being said, when you look at ranges, it changes a little bit, but the de-stress and sleep are big. See, generally what happens is when we enter a country, it's bath and body that starts going first.
Yeah.
And as people get to know the range, then comes the skincare items and so on. So eventually we see in the more mature market skincare taking on and becoming very big. But as you go into a market, it's generally bath and body care, and sleep and de-stress have been two big ranges for obvious reasons. Everyone needs to de-stress and everyone needs to I guess. But when it goes into cosmetics, our acne range is doing extremely well, the Neem and Treaty range. Then we've got specific treatments that are doing well for dark spots, the under-eye treatments and so on. So, so if I had to pick ranges, it'll be sleep and de-stress. And if I told you one product, it's the White Sandal eye serum.
I'm curious. I really want to try that now, because I kind of expected you to say the Sleep Intense range, because that's my favorite. And that was like the first sort of introduction to your brand. Like that's what I had those wellness issues and it worked for me. So it's fantastic to know that there are other products that are actually like a lot more popular as well. So I'm definitely going to try that. Do you have like, okay, you've said that you were about to open in London as well, but do you have like a dream country or like a city that you really, really, really want to open in?
See, I think London was one of those.
I can imagine.
Because again, it's one of those cities that really stand out and say you've arrived as a brand. So London, New York, Paris, those Western cities, let's call it, would be great to have. Then the US is showing a lot of potential as well. The only thing that's kept us away from the US is distance, because when openings do happen, we are quite hands-on. So we've already done market research in the US for a while, but I think our biggest market would end up the US, given its scale. So looking forward to one of those launches, hopefully next year or the year after.
So congratulations on that. What are your personal favorites of Spa Ceylon?
Wow, okay, that's hard.
It's gonna be a hard one, right?
That's like asking a parent who their favorite child is. It is a lot of product. We've got over 600 SKUs of product. Okay, personal favorite in terms of, let's go to what I'd use. So again, the eye serum. Then there's a white rice overnight cream, which I would use. Those two, for anyone over 30 years old, I think you must use it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Then I love the de-stress range. The whole range of bath and body. Actually, I could just go on. So
I think that's already nice. You've already mentioned like two favorite products, and it's nice that one of them is actually one of your bestsellers around the whole world as well. So that's, that says a lot. So I'm definitely going to try it, and I'm going to recommend it to my husband as well, I think.
What are your favorite? You've tried quite a few, right?
Yes, I did. Not enough yet, but then for me, the first range was the Sleep Intense range that I got to try. Pre-pandemic, I was traveling a lot anyway, so I think for me, that was always my biggest issue, being able to like have a good full, 8-hour sleep, solid sleep. So having the Dream Balm, which I carry around anywhere, and the time that I received it as well, I was traveling, and it was just, using it in my temples and just sleeping on a flight with it, and the smell. And the Sleep Intense range was probably my favorite because it's been so effective for me as well.
Oh, great. Little tip, if you're flying, carry the de-stress mist with you.
Okay.
And when they give you the hot towel, just spray a little bit and put it on your face just before landing.
Okay.
It'll revive you, because that's just amazing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A lot of forward, and that's what keeps me going, really.
I will definitely try that.
Works for jet lag, works for hangovers as well.
Good to know. Thank you for that tip. The Neroli Jasmine is like my favorite hair one. It was recommended to me because I do have quite dry hair, and especially with the tropical weather and stuff, it's actually been really nice to use around the scalp, and it really cleans without stripping too much. So that surprised me, because I tend to have a lot of problems with hair care and finding the right shampoo that's clean. So that was impressive. I don't know if you guys hear that a lot, but your hair care range is amazing.
We do. Okay, I'm going to give you an insider tip on some of the hair care. Use the the coconut conditioner.
Yeah.
Right. Use the coconut conditioner. Wash it off.
Okay.
As you're washing it off, leave a little bit in, or wash off, and then take a little bit in your hand and just put it in. And if
Oh, like a leave-in conditioner.
yeah, so you use to wash it off, so put a little bit and leave it in, and just blow dry your hair with that and see what happens.
Oh,
Amazing fullness,
okay.
and it gives you
And
that
no frizziness and
exactly.
things like that. Okay, I will definitely give that a try.
See, the key to our skincare, hair care, even the bath and body is, see, Ayurveda is the science of healing, right? So all of the products are designed to heal and then give the benefit, right? If you have a dark spot, if you have pigmentation, aging, all that is a sign of your skin not being in its perfect form. So, like I was talking about to you about Ayurveda, what Ayurveda does is take your skin back to its perfect form or as close as possible. So, every ingredient linked to the benefit, it's designed to start that healing process that gives you that benefit. So, when you start using Spa Ceylon skincare, it's much more long term, and the benefit is long term as well.
Okay.
Acne, whether it's uneven skin tone, whether it's under eyes, all that. So this is the feedback we get from across the world when people do start using our skincare, that it really works.
Yeah.
They write to us and say, wow, this is really working for me. Because of the healing that brings about the change, and it's not superficial on the outside.
Yeah, and that's nice to know, and I think a lot of people would like to know that as well, because sometimes when you try skincare that does have, from other brands that has chemicals in them, you kind of want that immediate reaction, and you do usually get the immediate reaction because of the ingredients. So it's good to tell people, obviously, that you've got to give this a try longer term to actually see the effects, which are then longer term as well, which is nice to know, because I didn't realize. I think for me, I try something, and if it doesn't give me an immediate, sort of result, I kind of give up on the product. But then I think with, organic or 100% vegetarian products is that you have to give it, that sort of chance in the try, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But there's two sides to that as well. Now, there would be, I could name a few of our products, like for like a leave-on pack or something, that you see the change like this.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But as you use it, it'll give you long-term change as well. But then you might use certain products and say, look, this is not for me, because like anything else we eat or consume, just because it's natural doesn't mean every product is for everyone.
Yeah.
So you still need to match it up to your skin type and your needs. So you could not be reacting well to a particular ingredient, or a particular ingredient might not do the best for you. So that's why it helps to really when you're looking at skincare, ours or otherwise, that you try and figure out whether the product you're using is right for your skin type.
Yeah, suitable for us, yeah.
Ingredients play a role also. And even if it's right for your skin type, given each of us are unique, there might be one ingredient which is not perfect for you.
Yeah.
So you can switch it out.
Yeah.
And keep trying. But in the most part, you'll see ranges like white rice. You rarely get anyone who says this is not right, because it's a milder range, and it's a nourishing range, and it works really well. But when you go into ranges like neem and tea tree, which treat acne and so on, which are a little more active in terms of how the ingredients work, some people might say, oh, it's a little too strong for me. But you get like 95-98% of people who it's working really well for.
It just depends, so I guess it depends on you and your needs and your skin type as well. And talking about all of this, I completely forgot that you guys see, like with the white rice, it's suitable for everybody, right? Like that was suitable for all sort of skin types. But then you have the ones for like the dry, then you have the ones for oily, and then you have the ones for like sensitive skin. So you have the doshas, and I never understood that before, and I realized that on each of your packaging you have those little symbols, which is so cool, because it's almost like you look at it and you know straight away if that's meant to be for you or not, right?
Absolutely. So it's the same with the hair care, it's the same with the skin care. So we're trying to find products that match up with you best, right? So if I'll go into dosha theory. You might know.
No, I found it so interesting because I've never come across products that go into, go deep into that. So understanding doshas, and I did a questionnaire as well to find out my dosha and, like lifestyle, everything. It was very interesting to understand how everything is connected and how it's not just using a product as such, but practicing, like having that lifestyle that sort of kind of, complements the usage of the product as well, which was really interesting for me. And I think it's fantastic for people,
Yeah, what's amazing is Ayurveda has been talking about this for thousands of years, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you look at today's health gurus, this
Mm-hmm.
is exactly what they're saying. They're saying you want great skin, you need to drink so much water, you need to eat veggies, you need to live a certain lifestyle, you need to get your exercise, all that is coming into play. And that's essentially what Ayurveda told you. Ayurveda told you that this living healthy is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's not something you do when it's done.
Yeah.
It's something that you keep doing, which becomes this whole holistic way of living.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think it's great to get to know a brand that's not just, a product that just smells nice or has a few benefits, but it can be part of your life and it can be part of your everyday life. And the fact that your brand practices that or encourages people to do that, it is, like you said, it is something that so many people are so aware of, especially during the pandemic. I think that people are at home and they're thinking about well-being, not just mental well-being, but like physical well-being, and they're trying to like change habits and things like that. So it's great that you guys are promoting that, I think.
What was your first thoughts when you saw Spa Ceylon?
Well, I first saw your brand at the airport here in Malaysia. From all the traveling at KLI1 is where I saw it. And then I walked past it, and honestly speaking, I thought it was a very expensive brand. So I didn't even walk inside because I thought there's no way I can afford anything. I'm not going to even bother buying this as a gift or anything. So it's been like this. And I know you guys have a few stores in Malaysia as well. And every time I walk past it in any shopping mall, I would not even step inside. It will look beautiful, it will smell nice, but I'm just like, yeah, I'm not going to even bother. And then when I got to try the Sleep Intense range, you guys were kind enough to send it to me to try it out. I was actually very shocked and surprised at how affordable it was and how accessible it was, and the range and everything. So then telling my friends, hey, did you guys ever go to Spa Ceylon? Have you ever bought anything from Spa Ceylon? And for them, they were always thinking of it as a luxury brand. So they assumed because it's a luxury brand, it's going to be crazy expensive. And they were equally as surprised. So I think for me, that was my first experience thinking that, it's not going to be affordable.
So how long have you been using the brand for?
Since the beginning of the year, so actually pre-pandemic.
So you're 8 months in?
Yes, 8 months in, and I think I've got to try a few of the ranges, but I think initially my year started really busy with traveling a lot, and I think just before I flew to India for a job, I had the Sleep Intense range to try, because that was my issue. My issue was the sleeping. So I actually traveled with the dream balm that I had with me in the hotel as well, and it became like a ritual. Like every night before going to sleep, I was just like using it and the smell, and then I was like literally trying to sell it to all of my friends. But yeah, and then slowly I started understanding more about the brand. I like to do a bit of research about the brand, so knowing what you guys stood for and the kind of benefits of the products and stuff was just like, I've just been raving on about your product ever since, to be honest.
Oh, thank you.
No, thank you for making amazing products.
All right, so now that you've been using it for 6 to 8 months, any feedback you can give us?
The products are obviously amazing. I use amazing way too much, sorry, but it is amazing. I think especially during the pandemic, being at home and not being able to have facilities like a spa, a massage, or, things to actually de-stress, it's been nice to be able to kind of create that whole spa experience at home with these products and feeling relaxed and, not feeling so sad about not being able to go to like a spa, if that makes sense. So that is fantastic. Like, that's what your brand stands for anyway. So it's been nice to be able to just create that at home, basically.
Absolutely. I mean, creating the little escape, even if it's for an hour or half an hour, even 15 minutes, is so important. So what we've been actually doing is we've been even doing little yoga programs, incorporating the products,
Nice.
sleep rituals, incorporating products, because keeping your mind wellness during times like this is very, very important, and the products do really help. Again, even the ingredients that go into the products, like lavender, ylang, patchouli, are all calming ingredients. So it's more than just fragrance or aromatherapy. It's the way it interacts with your skin. It's the way it interacts with your whole body. They bring your senses all the way down, and that's why it's a sleep product. So that's what it's meant to do. So it works well in the setting. So thank you for the feedback. We'll do more about telling people how to use them when they're at home as like a complete ritual.
Exactly. And when you were talking about fragrance, for me, and I don't know if you knew this, but like I actually always refrained from using any fragrance products in the past because I'm actually allergic to a lot of fragrance products. So I was using Vaseline. So when I first received your product, I was a bit skeptical. I did think, okay, I'm probably going to react. It's probably not going to work. I'm probably going to have to re-gift it. So it was nice that I didn't react to them at all. So a lot of my friends who do, suffer from eczema, or any other skin issues, I've actually been telling them hey, try this, because finally you can try a product that is fragrance but does not react or give you any skin issues, which is a big deal for a lot of people, who have not been able to use fragrance products for years. And for me, that was the case for about last 7 or 8 years. I've not used any fragrance products at all.
Oh, wow. So you should be able to use even our cream perfumes then.
I've not tried them yet, but all your bath and body ranges, for me, that was the main thing. It's body creams that are fragrance. I've never been able to wear them. So I've relied on perfume on top of my clothes to have that sort of scent on me, to now have your moisturizers and, bath and showers with the fragrance, but not reacting to it was a huge game changer for me in terms of your brand and your products.
Absolutely. Now that you mentioned eczema, we were having this conversation a few days ago. We've got a coconut range, and the coconut range is possibly our mildest range, and it doesn't have any other essential oils added in either. So we've got fragrance-free, essential oil-free products, which are working really well for people with eczema. It's even helping the itching and it's reducing the scarring and so on. Even the coconut products on the head are helping with people who have even eczema getting on the head.
Yeah. Oh, so I'll recommend that then.
Yeah. So we're packaging the fragrance-free, essential oil-free stuff together and really going out there and promoting it to the eczema people who have eczema, because it's helping heal and soothe.
That's really nice. No, that's really nice. And coconut, I mean, who doesn't like anything with coconut oil or coconut in it? So yeah, so I'll definitely recommend that. So thank you for that. Okay, well, thank you so much, Shalin. I did not expect this interview to be this productive, informative. I can see the love and the passion, which is really nice. And it's nice to be part of a brand that I can relate to and that I feel resonates with me and my life for sure. So thank you so much for your time, taking the time out to answer all these questions. I'm sure all the viewers and followers, they'll love to, have the answers to the questions they probably had about the brand as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I mean, it was fun. It was a good conversation.
No, absolutely. Well, you take care, and hopefully we can do this again sometime.
Absolutely. Take care.